Hey guys, how you doing? I'm Nick, and today I'm going to be educating you guys on the history of the New York Football Giants. So, the New York Giants are my favorite football team in the NFL, and they have quite a rich history over time. Now, the Giants right here on this football have won 4 NFL championships over time, and what that means is before the Super Bowl era of football, they won national championships, which is kind of like Super Bowls today. So they won 4 of those before the Super Bowl era. And then once the Super Bowl era came into fruition, they won a Super Bowl in 1986, 1990, 2007, and 2011. Or better, 1986 to 87 season, 90 to 91, 07 to 2011, 07 to 08, and then 2011, 2012. So let me tell you all about that. By the end of today, even if you are a Philadelphia sports fan or Dallas sports fan, I'm going to make you a New York Giants fan just for these 4 minutes that I'm talking about them. So, in 1986, they had quite a magical season. They had one of the best outside linebackers of all time. You may know this name. His name was Lawrence Taylor. He was one of the best linebackers of all time. He led that year in sacks, in quarterback pressures, in a lot of defensive numbers. So basically what sacks are is, say you're watching a football game, right? And then you see the quarterback. So the linebackers are the guys that rush up through the line and they try to sack the quarterback. And a sack is when you bring a quarterback down to the ground. So he led the league in that. And he was just a crazy, crazy good player and probably the best player in New York Giants history and probably the best linebacker in NFL history. And they went on to win the Super Bowl that year. So only a short 4 years later, and you're going to find something uncanny with this. So the Giants won their first pair of Super Bowls in the 1986-87 season to 90-91 season, and they did that within a 4-year span. You're going to notice something interesting when I talk about their next 2 Super Bowls. So in 90-91, they went on to win the Super Bowl as well. They went on to beat the Buffalo Bills, and they won based on a missed field goal attempt by the Buffalo kicker, and they ended up winning that Super Bowl. So now we fast forward about 15 years later, and now we're in the year 2007. So, the Giants in 2007 had a quarterback by the name of Eli Manning. You guys probably know who this guy is. Even if you're an Eagles or Dallas fan, you definitely know who this guy is. So, and you're going to notice something uncanny, like I said earlier. They won their first pair of Super Bowls in a 4-year span. So now, let's talk about this span of Super Bowls. So in 2007, quarterback Eli Manning led his team all the way to the Super Bowl, and they did something absolutely spectacular. What they did is they took down an undefeated New England Patriots team that was 18-0 throughout the season. They were 16-0 in the regular season, won their 2 postseason games, and then went all the way to the Super Bowl. And now, most of you guys definitely know who Tom Brady is. In my opinion, the best quarterback that has ever played. But Eli Manning did something absolutely amazing. He took his team and he won the Super Bowl. The Giants were 9-7 that year, and they won the Super Bowl. And they probably had one of the greatest plays in Super Bowl history. You guys probably know it, the helmet catch. Eli Manning is about to get sacked in the 4th quarter, gets out of it, throws the ball all the way down the field to this guy, David Tyree, boom, catches it on his helmet and comes down without letting the ball touch the floor. One of the greatest plays probably in Super Bowl history. They go on to win that Super Bowl. Now here comes the uncanny part that I talked about before. What's uncanny is that now fast forward 4 years later, 2011, they went back to the Super Bowl and won it again, and they faced the New England Patriots again and beat Tom Brady again. Now, the uncanny part is, think about when they won their Super Bowls in the late 80s and early 90s. They did it in a 4-year span from 87 to 91. And then fast forward about 20 years later, 2007 to 2011, again a 4-year span, they won the Super Bowl. And they did a fantastically amazing job. They went all the way to the Super Bowl again. They were, I believe, they were a 10. Yes, they were. They were a 10-6 team that either won 10 games, and they went all the way to the Super Bowl and beat Tom Brady again. And ever since then, they have not won a Super Bowl. But in their history, they have 4 Super Bowls, and they have 4 Super Bowls, and they're one of only 7 teams in the NFL to have at least 4 Super Bowl championships. The teams ahead are New England Patriots with 6. The Pittsburgh Steelers also have 6. The Dallas Cowboys have 5. And so do the San Francisco 49ers. And the teams that also have 4 are the Giants. You have the Green Bay Packers. And you have the newly championship Kansas City Chiefs. So that is all about my Giants history today. I hope you guys all enjoyed, and I hope I made you guys Giants fans for a little while today. All right.